Welcome back to Shockwaves Labs. Rudy here, just doing my first Wave 4 deck tech video. It's for Runabout Runamuck, and it's a lot of fun to play. I was thinking about calling it Let's Play Some Cards, just because you draw a lot of cards and you play a lot of cards. But yeah, let's get into it, and I'll get into the details. So first we have Raider Runabout, just to give you guys some info. 5 attack, 13 health, 2 defense in his alt mode. His bot mode, his attack drops by 1 to a 4. His health stays the same, his defense stays the same. And then with Runabout, when you flip from bot mode to alt mode, you repair 1 damage to both Runabout and Runamuck, and then you transform Runamuck also. From bot mode to alt mode. And so going down to Runamuck, 4 attack, 13 health, 2 defense in his alt mode. In his bot mode, his attack goes up by 1 to 5. His health and defense stay the same. And then his bot mode ability is when you transform to bot mode, you draw a card and then you flip Runabout to his bot mode. And so the key thing with this deck here is that you're transforming a ton, obviously, for their abilities. So usually opening turn, you'll transform Runamuck, which transforms Runabout, which allows you to draw a card, and then you'll use cards to get multiple transforms. Ideally, you'll heal 1 and draw 1 every turn, which would be great. On the team, I put Private Vanguard. I threw him on there because I've always loved Runabout Runamuck, but the rub I have with it, or the problem I have with it, is that they don't have a lot of staying power, I feel like. But with Vanguard, with the new Wave 4 Battle Master here, that fixes it. Vanguard here, attack of 3, 5 health, 1 defense, and his ability is when one of your characters defends and you flip a white pip, they only take 5 damage. So if you get that white pip on the flip, that's 1 more swing that they're going to stick around for. And with this deck, even though they're taking 5 damage, which is more than a third of their health, you heal a fair amount. So you it doesn't happen too often where your guys go down super quickly. And then with all battle masters, when Private Vanguard gets KO'd, turns into an armor, and he's a +2 armor. And then when he goes on to when he gets played or gets put onto a bot, you do 1 damage to a tapped enemy, which is kind of nice actually, because for some cards that punish you for drawing cards like Shockwave or whatever, because you will get cards in hand for you to discard, and you start putting damage on. You can put damage on Vanguard here, so you can just get him onto one of your guys. Because usually discard decks are heavy blue, so they're not swinging too hard, so Vanguard's ability won't kick off too often or be necessary too often. But yeah, that being said, let's get into the battle cards, and then I'll go into detail how their abilities play off and how I personally play the deck. Alright, so here we have the battle cards. I'm starting off with the equipment first. So just going down the list, we've got 3 improvised shields, 3 flamethrowers, 2 bashing shields, 3 kinetic converters, 3 grenade launchers, 3 kinetic intensifier whips, and 3 mining picks. Improvised shield, tough 1, double orange pip. Flamethrower gives tough or bold 2. Bashing shield gives +1 to defense, and when it's played on a character, you get to scrap an enemy armor. Kinetic converter, whenever your bot transforms, you get to draw a card. Mining pick it's a +1 attack, and it gives your bot plan 2, and then for every card that you plan, you get +1 to attack. Kinetic intensifier whip is a +1 weapon. Every time your bot transforms, he gets bold 2. And then finally, grenade launcher, basic weapon +4 to attack, and is scrapped at the end of the attack. Or whenever, yeah, it's scrapped at the end of the attack. So pretty simple concept. It's very straightforward for this deck. Is that you are these are like this right here is your bread and butter is what you want. The kinetic intensifier whip and the converter. If you get both the converter and a whip out, you are sitting really pretty because you are drawing. You're drawing a lot of cards. You're drawing a surprising amount of cards because usually, on average, like the game, whether like win or lose, I have like about 8 cards in my hand, and so, and usually that's gas for mining pick or just hopefully answers that you have in your hands, like if someone's dropping armors left and right, or like spare parts, so that you'll bash and ramming speed or what have you. But yeah, usually like what you want to do is drop a converter or drop an intensifier whip as quickly as possible. And the nice thing too with intensifier whip is that, so like a play that I will usually do is I will transform. I'll transform, then drop either like rapid conversion or an escape route or a rollout, just any transform card, right? So you play it. So you transform, gets bolt 2. Play a transforming action, you get another bolt 2. Then I'll overwrite the intensifier whip with another weapon. So then, like, if you're just really trying to dish out damage, like, so you go transform, ideally grenade launcher, so that way you're swinging with +4, bolt 4 with one of your bots. It's a huge swing, deal crazy amounts of damage, and it just, yeah, God, it hits really hard. It's really hard. The flamethrowers I put in here because like, it's just a bolt 2 item, but it's also kind of like, I have it there for Vanguard, actually, honestly, of all bots, because like he's a super scrub. He's easily like disregarded, and so you kind of want to make him like a little bit of a threat, so like to entice players to get rid of him to get that easy kill. But I mean, like, it's just these are upgrades. These are upgrades that'll like benefit him. I feel like a lot more than Runabout, because those guys you're saving the intensifier whips and the kinetic converters for. Mining pick, like if you can't get like a grenade launcher to override with the kinetic whip, then you can just override with mining pick because it's still a +3. And then with the amount of cards you're having in your hand, you're probably having an improvised shield in your hand, so you could plan one and then throw down an improvised shield on them, which is just dandy, because you're getting that bolt 4 too. So if you plan to improvise shields, you'll get that guaranteed 2 double orange pip cards plus whatever additional cards you flip with the bolt that you're giving to your guy. Let's see now. Things to no, yeah, that is pretty much it as far as like gear goes. So yeah, let's jump into the actions. All right, so here are the actions I'm running in this deck. I'm doing 2 escape routes, 3 Peace Through Tyrannies, 3 zaps, 3 rapid conversions, 3 start your engines, 2 ramming speeds, 3 rollouts, brainstorm. Just so we're all on the same page. Escape route, it's an action that you flip one of your characters from bot mode to alt mode, and it's a white-green pip, so it means it's fishable. So if for some reason you don't have a transform card in your hand, you can fish that on your flips. Piece of Tyranny, double orange pip card. You can scrap or you can KO one of your bots that's 6 stars or greater. Well, you can KO any of your bots, but if he's 6 stars or greater, then you get to take another turn after this turn. Rapid conversion, you can perform additional. You can perform 1 more transform on the turn. White pip card. Zap does 1 damage to an enemy. Orange pip card. Ramming speed blows up an enemy's upgrade. Orange pip. Start your engines. You flip all of your cards from bot mode to alt mode. Then you untap one of your cards. Brainstorm allows you to play 2 actions in 1 turn, or 2 additional actions in the turn. And rollout, you flip all your cards from bot, or you flip all of your characters from bot mode to alt mode. So no surprises here that we have we're rocking 8 transform cards, and so that's just because you want to transform. You want to get 2 transforms in as often as possible. Now I've got 3 start your engines here, and you might be asking how come you're not using turbo boosters. And I really wanted to put turbo boosters in here. They fit with the color scheme. But I mean, it's just I'm trying to avoid being put into a situation where I have to choose between turbo boosters and kinetic converters, because they're both utility slot upgrades. And in my opinion, just having just to start your engines is good enough. Than to have 3 start your engines and 3 turbo boosters to get that to get the untap for the cars. I'm only running 1 brainstorm in there. Although sometimes I feel like I should be running 3, just because, I mean, when it keys off, when brainstorm kicks off, it really kicks off. It can really cause a hurting on someone. So I don't know. Sometimes I think about dropping. I mean, it might be based off your playstyle. If you can probably drop the flamethrowers for it. Like drop 2 flamethrowers, put in 2 brainstorms. However, it's a blue pip card, and so you are relying on bold to take care of. You're relying on bold to definitely increase your damage to your opponents. Ramming speeds, I mean, yeah, like I said earlier, it's just like sometimes some upgrades have just got to go, and that ramming speed's in there for that. Rollout is a transform card that's both an orange and a blue pip, so especially being in the very orange heavy deck, those blue pips do really count for something when making your defense slip and your healing as well. And so yeah, the ebb and flow of this deck is like, you want to transform, action to transform again. Ideally, like, get the intensifier whip to get the both 3. You don't need intensifier whip to dish out massive amounts of damage, but it doesn't hurt either, because I mean, you could just drop a good old-fashioned flamethrower on one of them and just still hit pretty hard. It's the fact that you're just drawing so many cards, and you're almost doing an action upgrade every turn, which is just stupendous. But however, that being said, things to look out for is like hijack. I posted the last video I posted was me playing Eric, and like before I put the hijack in, and like before playing hijack or putting hijack and after putting hijack in, it's night and day, because it just grinds your deck to a halt. You really have to be careful what you play, and like consider if that hijack hits, if that secret action hits, is it worth it to give my opponent extra card to heal 1 damage? And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But that being said, it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to lose that card if they rock like 3 of those cards. It's just it's going to be an uphill battle. But it also brings like to a possible sideboard, because I haven't really built a sideboard for this yet, because I'm still just fine tuning it. Like this iteration of the deck is probably like after a few about three tunings I've done on this. But I was thinking about running treasure hunts, because the nice thing with treasure hunt is that like you'll scrap the top 4 cards of your deck and you put them into your hand, so it kind of gets around hijack that way, and it'll allow you to just get more cards in your hand, so that way you can just have more options at your disposal. But yeah, other than that, the deck is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's nothing too riveting as far as like ingenuity or originality. It's just a good old-fashioned rock'em sock'em rock'em sock'em bots kind of deck. I had definitely a lot of fun playing with it, and just with the way 4 cards with just intensifier whip and converters, it completely changes how Runabout and Runamuck play. And yeah, like we were testing it, and it just has a lot of fun, and people, it's great, especially like if you play against your friends and like you pull this deck out, and then when they see your decks just start kicking off, their faces will be priceless. So this deck will be fun to play, even if only just to watch the expression on your friends' face when you just start swinging for the fences and drawing a million cards. But yeah, that's pretty much my deck. I hope you like it, or like hope it inspires you to build something else, or like you just see some of these cards like, hey, like so and so does that, or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Just putting the stick out there. Hopefully people will like it. Maybe try it out and maybe fine tune it or just come across something that I haven't come across. But yeah, man. Thanks for watching. You all have a great day. Peace.